Hello, 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 everyone. Listen, you had to hear the horns in this one because we have an absolute special guest. We'll always, if you've ever watched the podcast, if you've ever listened to anything, watched anything involving NYCID social media, finally we have the man, the myth, the legend himself. This is the person who has made it all possible. Actually, I call him Mr. Adam. Right here.
Wow, thank you so much. That was such a great intro. It's an honor to be here. It's great. I don't even know what to say. That was so nice.
Horns.
Yeah,
Let's turn this back up. Horns all the way. All right, we had to, Adam is actually leaving us, so one thing I thought about was like, you know what? We never get to speak to the people who are behind the camera, and there's so much that goes into it. So we're going to get into that in this episode. But first, tell us about yourself. How do you pronounce the last name? Is it Derer or Derer?
Yes, you got it right. It's Derer.
Derer.
It's like an error with a D, because that was always a point of contention growing up. No one could really pronounce it. And when I played sports, all the coaches were like, "Hey, Durr, get over here." But so I grew up in Jersey, and after I graduated college, I was looking for a job. So I kind of just bounced around. I was driving for rideshare. I was writing my own blog to kind of pad my resume just about things that interested me. And so I was doing that for a little bit, and then I found out about NYCID, and I got this job. I majored in marketing, so I was like kind of doing creative stuff, making videos, writing stuff, and I got the job at NYCID doing the social media, communications, writing, and all that stuff. And 2 weeks later, COVID happened. So it was kind of different.
Very interesting.
It changed a lot. I think I did one event in 2020, in like March of 2020. It was like a job fair. And then everything changed. We all had to scramble to try to like save the money for the programs and stuff. And everything kind of worked out. One of the main reasons they hired me, though, actually was for the gala. The gala that we ended up having.
Well, you know what? And that's probably a later question, too. Like, how has the challenges of NYCID, because that's one thing NYCID will do is push you out of your comfort zone. And that's one thing I will say as a person working with. I didn't even know you was just hired for the gala. I just know it was event after event and everything. I would turn around, there's Adam with the camera.
Yeah.
And at first, like when it was like, all right, we're bringing someone on to handle social media and stuff. And you came in, I was like, he looks like the perfect guy. He looks like a slacker. It looks like, he got that 3-day shadow of a beard. The women, that awkwardness that the women would love. But then I'm like, this guy's vibe, he just has such a, for those who haven't met Adam, he has such a peaceful, calm vibe, and you could tell that is genuinely a good person. And no matter what the event or what the thing, I feel like you have just stepped up to the challenge, and he's always been open-minded about it and just brought a good positive vibe to the situation.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely agree.
Thank
it's like,
you.
because like there's so much going on, and at this company there's like a lot of different moving parts. So it's just, being respectful to people, learning a lot as I go, learning about the school system, about our mentors, about all the different things, and then taking that in stride and just, like I said, treating everyone with respect, like treating everyone the same as you would anyone else, as the way you would want to be treated. Golden rule.
That is the golden rule. So tell us about being that you're probably kind of like, you would be like almost on a Diane level, like a Diane or a Jess, like they know about everything because they get all the phone calls.
That's too inside
emails.
baseball. No, they're probably going to be mad you even mentioned their name.
But it's the truth. No, it's probably three. There's one thing I always say, like, if you're going into a school building, the janitor is just as important as the principal. That's what I always say, because the principals might make the decisions, but the janitors have all of the keys. Mm-hmm. So people like Diane, people like Jess, people like you are everywhere in every program. So it's like they're like the key holders. So what's some of the programs that you have worked for NYCID or have shot or have done some social media on that you've covered?
First of all, I just want to say I love Jess and Diane O'Brien. They're great. They're awesome people.
Amazing. We gotta get them on camera. Diane maybe, Jess is definitely like, nah. Jess is like a big old teddy bear. She acts like she's rough, but she's really nice. She's like pudding. But no, they're definitely amazing. These are people for the audience who don't know. These are people that are in the organization that are behind the scenes. Like we'll see the events, we'll see the, for instance, the forum that we just had. Oh my goodness, I feel so bad for Diane because I was always on the phone with her. She had to call this person, calling the city, on with NYPD. And those are the people that are behind the scenes making these things happen and making these things possible. We make the phone call and they are doing all of the work. So it's definitely, none of this can go without people like that.
Yeah, same with me. When I was ordering the podcast equipment, I sent the list to her. If I need new ink for my printer or like a new charger for my laptop, it's always them.
Literally from A to Z, they're like phenomenal.
But let me get back into the program. So right now we're in a community school, so I work with those programs a lot. That's where we do the media club in 2 of our community schools. Summer youth employment program I was heavily involved in for the past 4 years. Like we mentioned, the gala, that was kind of a whole thing, like event planning that was all of NYCID getting together. I worked with the conflict management team to write blog posts and do videos to promote their services. I've done stuff with the probation team. Trying to think, there's a lot. Oh, and the other after school programs, all the after school programs, all the transfer schools. I usually shoot their graduations, take pictures and videos at their graduations. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers it.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So how does it feel being in front of the camera now for a change? Because normally Adam's in here. He has an interesting bunch for the after school program. And sometimes they can get a little bit rambunctious and stuff. And then he's very patient with them. And he's definitely always like giving them different pointers. So how does it feel now? It's one thing like if you go from the coach and then they have a faculty game and you have to play, right? So now you're in front of the camera. How does that?
It's great. I mean, it's great to be here with you because we've gotten to know each other over the past 4 years. It feels good. I mean, I've done things where I've like kind of introduced the programs, and there was actually a bit of an inside joke between me and my friends in my videos, because I would be like, hi, I'm here at PS16. I would do this with my hands when I would kind of introduce the things, but it's cool. I don't mind being in front of the camera. I know I was going to say, like, I've had to learn to collaborate with the people that work here because they're not really used to being in front of the camera, so I have to make them feel comfortable and talk to them in a way that it's like, okay, like, I know you guys are doing great work here, but I want to show it to people and make sure that everyone else knows, and it's like, if you're not comfortable or if you're shy in the camera, it's like, how are we going to do this? So I've learned by being in front of the camera and by being behind and watching and editing everything, how to collaborate with people and how to do it myself. Awesome.
So what are some of like the challenges that people may not know? I have to go back to this, right? Like I'm a person who, being at I'm the CSD, like it's a lot of planning, a lot of meetings, right? And so when these functions happen, everyone's like excited, like, oh, this is great, that was great. And I'm like, y'all have no idea. I need a 2-day vacation, so I'm gonna have more grace. So you, with handling all of these sites, all of these events, all of the editing and stuff, what are some of the challenges that people may not know about?
So, I mean, obviously a lot of time spent on your computer, a lot of time driving around. And I think some people may not know, or some may know due to our rallying cries, the funding, trying to get the funding for these things. Because I feel like it happens almost every year. We're fighting for the Learning to Work program, or we're fighting for community schools just to get the funding to have these programs that really help our kids. And it's really frustrating to see that year after year. It's like, how are we going to get the funding? Are we going to have to lay people off? Are the programs not going to be here? So that's like probably the main thing that's really challenging, I would say.
Yeah, that's super frustrating. Because, not to make it a serious note, but it is part of it. You can work your behind off. You can really like put in long hours, and sometimes even the people who work extra hours, it's not like they go about bragging about it.
Yeah.
Just do it because that's what's needed. And we know how important these kids' lives are. They literally are the future. And to know how much hard work you put in on it, and then to hear like, oh, well, we don't know if.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy. That's wild. So, I guess the city and everywhere puts their money where their mouth is. Truly,
Yeah.
and we truly see what is important. However, it's refreshing when, knowing that people are in the line of work that have the same feel, the same passion for the kids. Because I've watched you with some of them, and even when they're challenging, I'm like, this dude has a lot of patience, because I would have been raise my voice. I didn't say I'm yelling, but I'm definitely gonna make it. Listen.
I know. I've learned because I never planned on working in the school system or working with children. I was trying to, work in advertising for like just brands, but I've learned so much. And when I started doing the club with the kids, like at first, I've said this before, I was a bit too friendly with them, but I've learned to, be stern and set goals and things that we can accomplish, that we know we're going to accomplish. That makes it easier to like work together and be together if we're working towards a common goal.
Right. And you know what? You just said that you was in advertising, right? So this is a lot of people, it's hard for them to think outside of the box, right? How were you able to maneuver and pivot with considering all of the different things that NYCID might ask of you? Like, as you said before too, you started off thinking that, it was originally just a gala, and then it's like, well, here's this thing, or here's this project, or here's that project. How was making that transition?
It's obviously challenging. It's not just like that where it's like so easy, but you just have to start. That's kind of the hard part for me, just getting started. And then you brainstorm, and then you think of ideas, and then you watch that idea grow into something like this podcast. I mean, it wasn't even my idea. It was our boss's idea, Mike. And he said, "Hey, Adam, we're doing a podcast. Get the stuff, teach the people how to do it." And then now we're here. And it's like the end of the year, and we've done like 30 episodes, I think.
Episode. I'm telling, sidebar, okay? When Mike came with that idea, I was like, this is a terrible idea.
I know.
Like,
there were some doubts, definitely, because it's like, well, how are we going to do this?
Adam put together like a PowerPoint.
I did.
He showed us how to put the equipment together
Yeah.
for like 5 minutes, and Mike was like, yeah, okay, you got it. It only takes 5 minutes.
I know.
Like, Mike, it doesn't.
And
we had a kid
Yeah.
on, and then the kid was kind of like, we were walking around the school asking, because we know, all of the mentors know the kids, so it was like, who has strong personality? Who will be comfortable in front of camera? And surprisingly, some of them have strong personalities and will talk to you, but then you put them in front of a camera and they're really shy. So that was driving me crazy.
Yeah.
And then once we got started with it, I was like, all right, this is it.
Yeah, if you want to go back and watch all the PS10, PS16 episodes, you might be able to figure out who that is. That's true. That's why we only had 2 students on. But next year we're going to try to work on it. We got the adults to do it. But that was. And honestly, it takes people that are open. Like that's something huge that you said about literally like being into advertisement and then being able to make this switch. Like that's huge. What would you miss most about NYCID? Oh, the people, easily. Whether it's the students or the staff that we have here, it's definitely the people. So many relationships that I've built throughout these 4 years. That's got to be it. Yeah, all the great programs, just seeing the smiles, seeing the final product, like taking a project from the start to its end, completing your goals, and collaborating with the people, like I said, like all this great work and seeing how it's done. Like I said, I grew up in Jersey, so I did not go to the New York public school system, but just seeing it in action and seeing all the great kids, the smiles, all the work that goes into it was really cool for me. And yeah, I think that's probably easily the most thing I would miss.
I have to say something. I'll give you your flowers while you're here. For me, what I'm going to miss the most, you said that you didn't grow up in the New York public school system. Watching some of these kids and when a person comes in, you could tell they're not from their background, they're completely different, but not treat the kids any different. And the kids pick up on that. Like the kids pick up on who's genuine, who's just there for a paycheck, who genuinely cares. And to watch them like gravitate towards you, or, watch them do some of the interviews, even when they're being a little bit rambunctious and stuff like that, it like warms my heart to see. And I know that they're going to take that a way they do ask. Like, let's say if it's a day that you can't make it, or if any of us can't make it, they will be like,
Yeah, I know.
Where's the Adam at?
Yeah.
Where's this? Where's that? So I like that is just, you're a person that has come in and has always been authentic, always been themselves. And for me, I love when I see that, you know, I love when I see that, because it's like almost like a lost art.
Yeah,
You know, people
I
are
know.
always
I
like-
don't see another way to do it. I hate the fakeness
Right.
that a lot of people in this world have, you know. It's just annoying.
It is super. Like Adam comes in, he's just like on his own type of vibe, his own type of wave, and the kids absolutely love it. So what is one of your favorite memories or funniest moments? I definitely have one or two that I will share.
Oh,
I wish we had it on camera so that you could splice it into the podcast, but I don't know if we.
Wait,
have
what's
this
yours?
recorded.
Because
I'm not telling.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
telling after you.
Okay. Funny memories. I mean, one thing that I'm proud. I have things that I'm proud of that I worked on.
Tell us that.
I'll do those. So, like we mentioned the gala. So in the gala, they showed this video I worked on that was titled "Because of NYCID." So what I did was I traveled to each school program, and filmed students talking about what they're able to accomplish with NYCID and where they would be without NYCID. So all the different ones, the transfer schools, the community schools, the students who are on probation, the students who work on peer mediation programs. And I filmed all of that within like 2 weeks. So it was a lot of running around and trying to get the footage. And then it was shown at the Snug Harbor Grand Hall in front of all the people, and I'm just super happy with how that came out. That was one of my proudest moments here. I'm proud of this podcast. We kind of already talked about that. And I'm proud of my work with the SYEP program. I did a little curriculum on how to be a social media influencer. I don't think as many people know about that one.
Responsible social media
Of course,
influencer.
obviously, and it takes work. It takes work, you know.
I think like a lot of people pick up the camera and it's just like, oh, I'm an influencer, not realizing that no, you have a voice and that's important.
That's
you know?
very true.
Like you
That's
have
very
a bunch
true
of
as
people
well.
that's going to follow you. So at least let it be for things that is going to enhance the culture, things that are going to improve or bring some type of, you know, improvement to people's lives, not stuff that's tearing them down. So that's why I say responsible social media influencer.
Oh, wait, I have one more that I wanted to talk about. This was involved with the SYEP program as well. So I was working with a friend of mine, and one of the students that graduated from the YABC, and we made a video on how to use Career Zone, which is one of the things that our SYEP participants use. And it was it was kind of funny because, I mean, I had to act. We were both acting. So
where's this video?
We're not this is actually an internal video only for SYEP participants. So it's not public.
Nah,
but we were acting.
You gotta email it.
And we were actually playing basketball at Clove Lakes Park. And like, it was the idea was I was playing basketball and then I see my friend and then he's like, oh man, did you do the homework yet? And I'm like, yeah, I did it. Did you? He's like, no, I'm not doing it later. And then we whip out the laptop and then I show him how to do it.
This cannot be you have to send it to me. You have to email me this video before
Okay.
your NYCID
you.
email disengages. You have to send that to me.
And that actually wasn't the original plan. We were gonna film it in the main office on Stuyvesant Place.
Whose idea was this?
That was my idea to film it there.
This sounds like a DeVito idea.
No, this was it was
there.
his idea to make the video, but then I thought, oh, we could film it in the main office. Like that's a good place to do it. But I accidentally like locked the camera in one of the rooms, and then actually Jess O'Brien had to come let me out, bring the key.
I could only imagine.
So that's
how
a funny moment.
Did she have that look on, that serious look on her face, like Adam?
And then the student had to leave after Jess came, so then we had to do it a different day. But we ended up getting it done at the park, and it was good. So that was definitely a funny moment.
So, the funniest moment ever.
I
This was during COVID, right? So, like, NYCID is always full of bright ideas. When I say, like, some of the stuff that they come up with, I'm just like, I'm mad I couldn't think of that. Like, it's really ingenious. So we couldn't have a Christmas party, so we hired a comedian, and it was like the whole company was online at this time. So at this time, Adam is still like fresh. He's just like, all right, he's the quirky guy, he's the guy that you're watching in the movies. Like he's not really trying to hang out with the cool crowd, but he's the one that's getting all the girls, but he's the one that everyone's trying to be like, and the cool guys are mad at, like, or jealous of. So like that's the type of vibe that he's giving off at the time. We all hop onto this Zoom. Adam got on his shades. It was like some Ray-Bans or something. So we was like, Adam, who is this guy right here, right? So then the comedy show was very interesting, and it was comical. Not necessarily the material, but the show was something like I've never seen before.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And so we all, bad meaning good, so we all was like scratching our heads, like literally everyone. And so it got like eerily silent, and then someone was like, well, that was interesting. So then Adam was like, that was something. And then
I remember.
So somebody was like, something. He was like, well, it was not nothing.
I do remember this. I remember that now. I remember you were like, that was something, huh?
I was like,
I remember
something.
you responding to that. I do remember that.
So, because when people say certain things, I'm like, if they're like, oh, that was really good. I'm like, define good. Like your definition of good and my definition of good might not be the same. So it was like funny. I sarcastically was like, yeah, describe something exactly. He was like, well, not nothing. And when I say we were in tears, but it looked like Adam was, like COVID didn't exist. Like Adam was having his own house party that we interrupted. So that's when we got to saw a different side of Adam. It was like, yo, Adam is definitely the cool guy.
I know. I actually I talked to that comedian beforehand and like told him about the company and stuff.
That was
it was weird. It was weird. It was weird. Yeah.
It was very odd, but
the in-person Christmas parties are a lot more fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm glad they stay exactly right there.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. No, but it's always good to it's the same thing with the kids. That's why I love field trips and stuff, certain events, because it's good to interact with them outside of school and events outside of school, because then you don't have to be this like, in school you have to be whatever your title is, whatever your position is, and then it's like out of school and trips, and they'll open up more to you too, and that's also how you build relationships.
Right.
So,
totally.
Any last words? Any last things you want to say? Like your new endeavors?
So yeah, I joined the New York City Teaching Fellows, so I'm going to be starting that soon. Going back and getting my master's degree in special education.
Oh, where's the horn?
There we go. So I'm excited for that, and I wrote down some shout outs that I wanted to give. Shout out to Mr. Nigel, of course.
That would be me.
Shout out to my mom, who was a teacher, and my dad, who was a photographer. So they're still with us. They both retired, so they're living the good life right now.
Define good.
My girlfriend Liz, Eric, Joe. Those are my brothers. One's my blood brother. One's just my friend. Mike C, Mike D, Candace, Ivy, Kathy. All people who've helped me so much. I want to give a shout out to Josh, who
Mr. Josh.
I think he's one of the more stylish people who works here, because I always see he matches his work shirts with like a hat or sneakers or something,
with
and
the stitching in the shorts.
Yeah. He even got a custom denim jacket, with the NYCID logo on the back, which I thought was really cool.
Fire, yeah.
And he's also a really good podcaster too. His podcast at 44 that he did was really funny. Chris, Mia, Alan, Amanda Candela.
Alan's cooler than the other side of the pillow.
He's Mike Candela Jr., Andre Borders, Dominique, Lisa Marie. There's so many people. I hope I didn't forget anyone, but thank you guys so much. Really appreciate all of you. Michael DeVito, my brother, of course, everyone's brother. The meditation, the breath and body check. It's been a great ride. Thank you so much for having me, Nigel. I really appreciate it.
No, listen, we really thank you, and honestly, none of this could have been possible, and I'm super like honored and proud to be able to show the people, like one of the people that are behind the scenes, absolutely making this stuff look easy and bringing it to fruition.
Oh wait, one more. Desiree Black, of course.
Oh, you
she's
cannot
amazing. Yeah, she's great. She's
I'm gonna text her
great.
afterwards, like Adam forgot about it.
No.
Miss Black
D.
is another
Black.
one of those like larger than
Yeah,
life
she's
people. Like,
amazing.
energy is just amazing, and yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to give you your flowers now, tell you that I appreciate you as a person, as a human being, an amazing human being. Your energy, your vibe that you bring every single time. And I know that you will be an amazing teacher, and you will be amazing at whatever you decide to do, to be honest with you. Like that openness that you have, and just the willingness to go in and offer your help and your expertise. It's definitely you're gonna be successful at whatever you decide to do. I definitely will stay in touch as well. I don't know if that's a NYCID cell number I have or the person.
Oh yeah,
Either
I'll
way,
get you. I'll get
we'll
it to
definitely
you.
exchange. And well, world, this is Adam. Durr.
All right, thanks guys. See you later.
Have a good one. Until next time.